So I don't know if you guys saw this since months now. There's been teasers coming out for the new Battlefield game or Battlefield 6, whatever you want to call it. But the game now went from pre-alpha to alpha in the build that people are playing. And then in the game files for the pre-alpha, sorry, the alpha, it actually has Battle Royale files. And there's actually been a bunch that has come out about this. And our friend Zach, or Who's Immortal, made a video on this yesterday. I don't know all of the leaks yet, but I do know that it sounds interesting. So I'm going to let this video play, and then I'm going to pull up some stuff that I don't know if I'm allowed to show, but I'm going to. So
then, gentlemen, hey, hi, how you doing? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for stopping by. We just got some pretty exciting new details.
To answer your question, Zach has not got to 1 million subscribers yet, so go subscribe to him. Who's Immortal? Do it up.
Leaks on Battlefield 6 in regards to some gameplay changes with the current Battlefield Lab stuff that's going on. That definitely is good news as we get closer and closer to the reveal. We actually have some new supposed details on the reveal, and most importantly, some new leaks for Battle Royale as well. And so,
you know what, we're gonna start with them because this is extra interesting. So this is what came out. 3 new artworks from Battlefield 6 Battle Royale mode. The updated description teases: after a massive explosion devastates Fort Linden and its nearby beach town, the area is evacuated under the threat of toxic fallout. And then these are the images that we're showing. This went around pretty big. It got like 137,000 views. So here's one image, which almost looks like a little bit like GTA 6, honestly. Then we have like these images. So these are concept images. These are not gameplay images. And then we have this one here, which this looks dope. This looks like they're finding loot. Like someone took a sledgehammer, smashed a wall, and then is now looking inside. So that's what we have from that.
We've got a lot to dive into here today. This information is courtesy of Insider Gaming and Tom Henderson. They posted a new article this morning saying next Battlefield game playtest moves from pre-alpha to alpha. So we're already moving along the development cycle here, adds Battle Royale files. So let's dive into this because there's quite a bit to break down as mentioned. First up, several playtesters have told Insider Gaming that the next Battlefield game has moved to its alpha stage, which ultimately is good news. Of course, the current Battlefield Lab stuff that you have to be NDA'd for, you can't share anything with, although there's been a lot of leaks for various gameplay circulating around social media.
If you look, just like look up Battlefield 6 or new Battlefield gameplay, you will find like a million videos, and you're not supposed to show any of those. And yeah, you are right, EDM. It is hard to trust EA with anything, but it seems like they're putting in the effort, doing just tons and tons of playtests and using that as marketing. It's very strange.
Already, all this has been in pre-alpha so far. The original gameplay footage that we saw in the Battlefield Labs reveal and trailer a little while back, that was all pre-alpha. So they've already now moved into the alpha stage, which is definitely good news there. Tom goes on to say playtesters who've been playing in the Battlefield Labs playtests have told Insider Gaming that the game's watermarks and labeling have all been changed from Battlefield Labs and pre-alpha to simply alpha. So we are getting closer and closer to potentially a beta as well that might be a bit more open to the public.
So there is reportedly going to be an open beta some point this summer. We don't know when. Also this, like if you look down here where it says pre-alpha gameplay, it has moved to alpha now.
Like a full-on reveal with everything as well. The change came following a massive update to the game, which also apparently contained new materials and files pertaining to the Battlefield Battle Royale. You may recall a few weeks back we covered some major leaks detailing some Battle Royale gameplay, how there were going to be field upgrades similar to Warzone. There'd be certain challenges in game to get enhanced weaponry, whether it was defending positions, attacking tanks, doing all sorts of
like that image that we saw with the sledgehammer smashing open the wall might be some sort of symbolism for like one of those events. Like you have to do something where you crack a safe or whatever, and then you get better loot.
Different things. When you get killed or taken out, you end up being able to spectate via security cameras. You can cause things to happen in game with that. You can alert your teammates of things with that. I'll leave a link to that video down in the description below if you haven't caught that yet, because there were some pretty crazy leaks that surfaced into what the Battlefield Battle Royale gameplay could be like. And most importantly, it is said to be free to play as well, so could bring some major competition to Call of Duty and to Warzone, but also just the
Call of Duty needs competition. Like it's just abundantly clear at this point that Call of Duty absolutely needs competition. And when they don't get it, they do stupid stuff like just put out a bunch of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle bundles.
Royale category in general, which is obviously always fantastic news. The more competition there is, the better the gameplay is across the board, the better the games have to be consistently with update after update, launch after launch, particularly when it comes to COD. They could probably use that competition as a bit of a reality check, if you will. This article goes on to say, as of yet, the Battlefield mode is not playable, so it hasn't been a part of any of the labs testing or anything.
Yeah, so all of those files and everything that we looked at were data mined. They're not like in-game. They're not like even confirmed whatsoever.
But could be added to a test as a part of a Battlefield Labs update in the future. You never know. Obviously, if there's more leaks that we can actually talk about that, we can't show anything, of course, because it's all NDA'd and whatnot. But if there's more leaks to surface, we'll be covering those in the future. So of course, stay tuned for that. If you guys want to help get us one step closer to hitting 1 million subscribers, feel free to hit that sub button, turn on those post notifications. Also, if you enjoy the video, you're excited for Battlefield 6 and everything coming with the Battle Royale multiplayer, etc., a like rating is always seriously appreciated as well. But here's where we actually get some other details about Battle Royale gameplay, in addition to all the major things that we heard a few weeks back, saying images sent to Insider Gaming of the Battle Royale, which cannot be made public due to the NDA, show 2 teams of 4 in a skirmish in what appears to be an abandoned factory. Another image shows 2 soldiers looting weapons found within a hole in the wall. So it might not just be something where you walk into a building and there's weapons laid out on a table, or there's a cache to open. There's actually situations where you might be exploring, breaking down things to find weapons, to find stuff for your character, whether it be the field upgrades, actual guns, whatever the situation is. You might be able to blow open a wall and reveal like a hidden weapon stash of some kind, which I think is really cool, especially if that's something that's maybe dynamic from game to game. One match, you go into this factory, you blow open the wall, and there's no weapons inside. Maybe it's a couple stacks of ammo, maybe it's like a stim.
Like I said, I think if anything, finding things in that way will be more along the lines of doing a contract in Warzone, where it'll kind of like lead you to an area where you got to blow a hole in the wall, and then inside that hole in the wall, you get some sort of loot based off of that. That would be my guess.
Kit or something. The next game, it's got a rifle and an SMG for you. I think that could be pretty cool, just based on these leaks. A little bit of assuming there, but could be interesting. Another image shows a team of 4 with different colored parachutes landing near some high-rise buildings. So
I don't know if I saw that
nothing too crazy in terms of the Battle Royale details, but there are more and more leaks surfacing about this, which is good news because it means that we're getting closer and closer to seeing more surface from this via Battlefield Labs and potentially even some official market.
When do you think that Battlefield 6 or new Battlefield or whatever you want to call it will come out? Give me some guesses, and then after I read yours, I'll tell you what I think.
And whatnot going on from the Battlefield socials, which we'll actually get to here in just a moment. Hey everyone, real quick, want to shout out my friends over at G Fuel. It's heating up. I don't know about you guys, but it is getting hot outside, and there is nothing more refreshing than a nice cup of G Fuel. They've got a little bit of something for everyone, whether you're looking to stay focused and energized while you're gaming, doing work, whatever.
Gibbs says summer 26. Someone's saying into 2027. So you guys are thinking
they got the
anytime
cans,
soon.
they've got the tubs.
I don't
If you're
think
just
that's
looking
right.
to stay hydrated and refreshed, the hydration formula is fantastic as well. They've got a new and improved site. It's ultra fast.
My guess is they either do end of January 2026 or beginning of February, just to try to give a gap between GTA. Like that, if they're waiting there, I don't think they're going to launch right beside Call of Duty unless they're real damn confident. Or if they pull something cool, like wait to see how Call of Duty does and then shadow drop it if Call of Duty dumps themselves with their game. Maybe. Or I don't know, wait to see what the community sent, because they're competing against Call of Duty and then GTA. Everyone's competing against GTA, and then Battlefield always competes against Call of Duty. But you got to keep in mind, there's Arc Raiders coming out in the fall. Right? Bad. Well, bad for that game. It would pull people away from it, especially because Embark Studios has a bunch of ex-Battlefield employees. Call of Duty, and then all of the other fall games. So, like, if you wait until, like, early February, you bridge that gap in between, like, those winter releases or Christmas releases, and then GTA, I don't know.
Fast, you can easily pick and choose exactly what you're looking for. Head on over to checkout and use code IMMORTAL to save yourself some cash. If you're interested in picking up anything at all from the G Fuel site, check out the link down in the description below. Now, Tom continues on saying, according to Insider Gaming's past exclusive report, the Battlefield Battle Royale is being developed by Ripple Effect and was set to be a free-to-play component of the game. Fingers crossed those.
So they're pulling a straight up Call of Duty where they're just like, okay, our game's going to be made by these people, and then our Battle Royale made by a different studio.
Plans haven't changed. I'm just gonna throw it out there now. If it doesn't end up being a free-to-play BR, I could definitely see it falling short of expectations. This was a thing with Firestorm where it just kind of missed the mark previously. Free-to-play BR kind of is like a necessity at this point in order to truly compete long-term, it seems like, in this genre right now when you look at the other options out there. Also, a little bit of post-edit Zach here. Hey, hi, how you doing yet again? Temporal, who previously leaked all those major Battlefield Battle Royale details that we covered a few weeks back, also ended up posting on Twitter this morning with some other details, basically a description that was found for Battle Royale
this is what I just
game
read.
files with the newest labs update, saying after a massive fire explosion devastates Fort Linden and its nearby beach
This does sound dope.
town, the area is evacuated under threat of toxic fallout. So more so a very like broad breakdown of the narrative here, the storyline behind this next Battle Royale mode. But
You know what though? At least there's a goddamn storyline. Like, how many Warzone maps that we have with like either a bad storyline or like none? Like, let me just ask you this. Someone try to answer this without looking it up. What is the backstory of Fortune's Keep?
kind of gives you a little bit of an idea of what they're trying to build off of there with that very brief, very, like I said, ambiguous description, but some extra details nonetheless. Either way, today's recent update suggests that the next Battlefield game is trucking along nicely, and an official announcement of the game within a reveal trailer could come soon. We get some actual reveal update details here from Insider Gaming. Sources tell Insider Gaming that the full trailer for the game is to be expected within the next 2 months, which admittedly could be
Gamescom.
considered as a well-educated guess given the timing. Nonetheless, we expect the trailer before Gamescom in August, unless EA
I mean, I could have read that, but I swear I didn't. I don't read.
for giving Jeff Keighley the privilege of revealing it at opening night live at Gamescom in August. So sometime this summer we should get the full-on reveal. It's kind of crazy that we have all these various different details about Battlefield 6 already, whether it be from Battlefield Labs, some of the stuff that they've officially revealed.
So here's the thing that I'll say about like the story, right? Here's what I will say about like the map having a story and like this backstory of an explosion that causes all of this stuff, blah, 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 right? The game needs it. And I'll give you a perfect example of something that has nothing to do with Call of Duty. Fortnite. When Fortnite was doing the Cube event, there was an entire story about the cube, what it was doing, and people trying to predict why it was doing it. Having something that simple that changes the map just a little bit, but adds a little bit of narrative to it and speculation and wonder makes the world feel alive. And that's the problem with Warzone, is the world doesn't feel alive. Because again, they just added the Overlook into Verdansk. Let me ask you a question again. Why? What is the story with that? Why did they build that building? What is the story behind that building? We know that it has a secret room that code changes with pool balls, but like, why is that building there? There is no reason for it. Whereas, look at old school Verdansk, Modern Warfare 2019 Verdansk, they blew open the stadium because they thought they were that the enemies, that the Zakhaevs were being staged inside of the stadium. So they busted it open to try to kind of get at them. There was a story behind it. Whereas the Overlook is a building. Like, it doesn't really make any sense. Do you see what I'm saying? Am I making sense here?
Or even, you know, all the leaks and rumors that we've covered here already that have surfaced over the past few months. We have all these details about gameplay, what certain things will be like, the Battle Royale, etc. And they technically haven't even fully officially revealed the game yet. We're still waiting on that official reveal trailer with full-on gameplay, more details to come there. Like I said earlier, as we get official things from Battlefield themselves in the coming weeks and months, as we get new leaks and rumors, this is something I'm definitely interested in, and I'd love to cover more here on the channel. Obviously, it's a pretty big switch up from some of the standard content here, but if you guys want to see more of this, simply let me know by dropping a like on the video.
Here is it does not explain the story whatsoever. This is what it says. Dominate foes with a gigantic new skyscraper point of interest available to operators within the vicinity of downtown. Old tenement blocks, Burger Town, and the SKN Com Tower, which, by the way, that building did have backstory. Sorry, I'll show it to you. I have trouble showing things on stream. I'm bad at that sometimes. But anyway, have been demolished, and the construction crews are finalizing the sprawling skyscraper that dominates the landscape. Look for full recon tour below. So you can go to a full recon tour, but it doesn't explain. I know full right, it doesn't explain like why they added this building. They're just like, it's new.
Really lets me know that you guys are interested in the Battlefield content. And of course, if you're new to the channel, you want to stay up to date with everything, be sure to hit that subscribe button, turn on those post notifications. But once again, thank you so much for tuning in. And until next time, take it easy, have an awesome rest of your day, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace out.
I don't know how that got turned. Well, first of all, sorry for messing up the camera. I do it all the time. But it really, like, I think in live service games, they make a big mistake of prioritizing monetization and gameplay over story. Now, gameplay should be number one. Straight up should be number one. But like we talked about, we looked at the Helldivers event that they recently did, and we've looked at this stuff. The story of that is what ties people to it and gets them motivated to play it. So you have good gameplay and good story and narrative building and making the world feel real. All of a sudden you have a really great game. So yeah, that's my thoughts on it.